Good afternoon, YouTube. 2:24 p.m., 6:25. Happy Monday, if that's at all possible. I was just sitting here chilling. I took a nap and got a cup of coffee because I was up like a little after 4 this morning. So I thought I'd earned one by about noon, And I've been up about an hour now because I had a soda too before I came back with my coffee. But I was thinking about the family life there at 208 South Washington Avenue, Sedalia, Missouri. And it just happened to come to me that the stepdaughter was seeming kind of down or something one day. And I had some international coffee there in the cupboard that sometimes I would use as a coffee creamer instead of a coffee, just to give my other brewed coffee a little kick. You know what I'm saying? So I offered her one. I said, "Does your mom let you drink coffee?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I find that kind of odd now. But maybe it wasn't against their religion. But I found out later she didn't. So, but anyway, that seemed to make her a little happy. It wasn't all a bed of roses, but it wasn't all going at each other all the time either. Like some of these screencasts might let you think, man, all they did was fight, and all that stepmom did was gripe, but that's not it, Let her go plenty of places, away from the house, clear the cobwebs out of her head, and likewise for us, we'd get out of there every once in a while, as often as we could, actually, because I just felt bugged around her, and I needed, my space too. So she would get to go on some weekends with my mom and dad, and we would go shopping and go get our coffee in the evening sometimes, just to give each other space and to distance each other from the difficulty, right? You know what I'm saying? So, next time we were at the base, I picked up a can just for her. I really didn't know, and she didn't really know what flavor was her favorite. So I just grabbed one, or her dad grabbed one and put it in the cart. So this is just hers. I'm like, yeah. Got home, explained it to her just like that. This is just for you. Unless you want to ask Steve if he wants one. And for like when we're gone in the evening and you just want to sit there at the table with a cup of nice little coffee. And it wasn't full strength, of course. You know what international coffees are. Mostly cream and sugar. I mean, that's my take on it. A lot more other than coffee in it. But it's nice every once in a while, I used to be big on it. I love the mint. And I love the orange cappuccino. But anyhow, that's what I did for her. That's what we did for her. And I wasn't trying to make her go against her religion or anything. That was the farthest thing from my mind. Because, see, she had converted from all that and joined the Baptist church. So it wasn't a concern of the Baptist church whether you drink coffee or not, or whether you drink it by the gallon or not. That wasn't their ideal, so I saw no reason why it should become her ideal. Okay? So at this other thing, I had this going through my mind a couple days, excuse me, that it was just odd that that false claim making finger could point, but that same finger couldn't dial 911. I know she had some issues, but I know where she didn't have issues too. Because if she could get up there, which she did, and make a complaint against me, then I see absolutely no freaking reason why she wasn't just as capable to get up there and make a report against a so-called rapist. That may just be how I am. I don't care. I see it how I see it. You know, if you got a dog and a cat fighting, and you got to make a report, you going to report one of them, or you going to report both of them? Especially if you didn't see it start. No, you report them both. The dog and the cat were fighting, not just one or the other. Come on. This was a man's life. This was a man with a family who had sobriety, you know, who had successfully gotten through other problems in his world before he and I met. And instead of getting congratulated for that and people telling him he was doing a wonderful job, they pretty much tar and feather him. Just like with that therapy. Instead of saying, "Good job, John, I'm glad you thought of that. I'm glad you were thinking in that direction of getting her help so she could heal from whatever trauma may or may not have happened at that commune." Nobody said, "Great job, John." I'm saying it right now, John. Great job. Regardless of anybody else skipping entirely over that section of life. I saw it, and my mother saw it, and my dad saw it, and other people saw it, so they knew you were trying. Okay, you were trying to do what was expected of a good dad. Whether they acknowledge that of you or not, I'm acknowledging it of you right now. Alright? I know you weren't the monster that you were portrayed to be. Monsters don't take their prey to therapy. Alright? Monsters do not do that. Monsters, on the other hand, will make all kinds of excuses why his prey cannot leave the house, cannot go with his mother-in-law and father-in-law out of town camping, cannot go to church without following along, without going to this place and that place without being a part of it. I know exactly what monsters are, and for some creepy reason, people in Sedalia that had a hold of that situation must not have known what monsters are and what monsters aren't. And by that I'm offended, because they are paid good money to know simple things like that. And I'm not going to rant any further on this right now. I already got accused of my things not making sense, but you pretty much have to follow along and know the entire story, not just cut in on one video one day and think you're going to know exactly what's happening. So thanks for watching.